Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Not About Chemistry. My name's Amy,
I'm Nick.
I'm Claire.
I'm Daniel.
and today we're going to be talking about communications. But first, before we do that, let's roll the intro music.
So for today, we'd like to start off with what we like to call the Kyle question.
Okay.
Amy, you want to bring that up?
This will be a reoccurring segment on our podcast, now that we're getting more order into it. And yeah, basically all it is we ask Kyle for a question and we talk about it. You know?
Yeah.
Kyle gave us
Yeah.
a pretty good one today,
Yeah,
so
this one's pretty spicy.
it's not too bad.
Yes, would you rather live forever or know the future but die tomorrow?
Interesting. Let's take a second to think about that. All right.
Personally, I don't think I would want to live forever.
Me neither.
Because I feel like
Me-
forever is a really long time. And
Yes.
you know,
Words of wisdom.
I wanna know what the future holds, but I'd rather have it taken away from me than just do everything I want to do and then have nothing left with my life and not be able to die, you know?
Yeah.
There's also the classic, everyone you know and love will be gone. You kind of have to keep making new friends, but they're all going to leave you eventually, so you're pretty much alone.
Yeah, and I also, they never said that you'd stay forever young, so you just, keep getting old until you just,
Ooh.
turn into,
Just imagine old people, but forever old.
So,
But worse.
But
Oof.
worse.
yeah.
It doesn't say anything about health, so I'm not sure how. Would you be sick forever and just not die? I wouldn't want to live in pain.
Yeah, imagine just, having cancer for your entire, existence
But
forever.
assume that you were young forever. Would that change your mind?
I don't know.
I mean,
How do you
it's.
feel, Nick?
I think I actually would, because I don't know. You know the saying with enough time, time heals all wounds,
Yeah.
right? So I think you'd get to a point where you could get over it,
Yeah.
and I just think it would be really neat, to know everything, because eventually you'd be so old you'd know pretty much everything
Yeah.
you ever wanted to know.
Well, yeah, but, what's the point of doing that if you can't spend it with anyone? And, I feel like...
Well,
I
you
just
can, but they're gonna be gone.
exactly,
It's they're only gonna be there
I would
for a
rather
fraction
have
of a
that
lifetime.
than know everything but die the next day.
I don't know. I think that death is, one of the driving forces in, what we do
Yeah.
and, how we do
Oh,
it.
so wait. So
So,
does that mean? So from that logic, would that mean you wouldn't be motivated if you were immortal?
Yeah, think about it.
Yeah, because you
wouldn't
wouldn't have a
want to do
point to do
anything.
anything.
Yeah.
I also have a
That's-
question. Do you think that when he says know the future but die tomorrow, that he knows he's gonna die tomorrow? Because if I were to know that I'm dying tomorrow, I would do everything today, you know?
Mhm.
But I feel like looking into the future, wouldn't that just be your future? Death?
Well, yeah, but I feel like, the utilitarian in me kind of wants to say, I'd, try to figure out the future, tell somebody,
Yeah.
first of all, and then see what, go from there, you know what I mean? Just try to be useful while you're there.
I'm really fascinating today.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks,
So,
Kyle.
thanks, Kyle. Good question. All right, let's go into our. You want to do the word of the day?
All right, our word,
Alright.
our word of the day today. Nick, do you want to say that one?
So today it's going to be the word Neanderthal.
Pranked. You just got baited. It's not actually Neanderthal.
What
It's
do you
Ne-
mean, Daniel?
It's Neanderthal.
What? No, it's
Explain
not.
why. Explain
So,
why.
it's named after a valley in Germany, and it's like the Neanderthal Valley, and
no. It's
yeah, tall, just opposite of short.
Of course.
Ah.
Were they tall?
Yeah, they were kind of stocky.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Homo neanderthalensis was a hominid. Dab on.
Well, there
that's
you
the
go.
scientific
And those will be
name.
our next words of the day. All right, guys.
All right.
Now we're on to our topic of the day. No longer the word of the day.
More like
This-
words of the day.
More like words of the day. Exactly. Today we're talking about words. Today we're talking about communication. You want to get into that a little bit, Nick?
I actually wouldn't.
Okay, all right.
I'll get into it. So I found the question: should offensive language be censored? So we're talking about
Ooh.
swear words.
Ooh.
We're talking about nasty words like
Are you talking-
moist.
okay.
That's disgusting.
Now this is
Do you say
interesting.
offensive language like, like for example, like if a racist was on TV and was just like shouting,
Okay,
like
we'll say
like-
like offensive language, like
offensive-
racial slurs.
racial slurs.
Yeah. So
It's not like just straight
Not
up
just
profanity,
curse
you know?
words.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll go with that.
Um.
So first, like, I think we have to like decide like what makes a word bad, like a curse word, right? So it's we're all raised to like not say these words, so it like gives like a negative connotation to them. But what it like really comes down to is like that's like how is that meaning? Like what contributes to that meaning?
Yeah.
What does it even mean?
Yeah, the nuance behind
What
it.
makes it bad?
Like, for instance, the word gypsy. So that's like it's another name for the Roma people in Europe. I didn't know that it was like a slur at all. I just thought it's a name for a people, but apparently it's pretty offensive over there, and they prefer to be called Roma. And I didn't learn that until about a
Yeah.
year ago.
Yeah.
So does that mean that was I?
Yeah, your intention wasn't
yeah,
that. So
my-
does that make it bad?
Yeah. Which I mean that's a little bit of a different topic, but it kind of gets to the point where different words mean different things to different people. It's
Because of what society says is what it means. Like swear words. I mean, no word means anything. It's noise coming out of our mouth. It's like what we say it means. But society has picked these few words. Like these are bad words you're not allowed to say.
Yeah, and like I always thought it was interesting that like bad words are like worse to some people than they are other people, even though they have like the same like meaning.
yeah.
And even in the same context, they could mean something completely different. Like when someone in a gang, like a gang member uses like the F-bomb, no one's really going to pay attention to them because it's like that's they say it in every sentence.
It's like the context.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Like actually this is kind of interesting. So during World War I, in the trenches, if you didn't use the F word, it was considered more like urgent than if you did.
Yeah, it's
'Cause,
like,
like-
that's funny.
Because if they say like get the down, it's like okay. But if they say get down, then you're really in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if someone like who was raised never to curse and never curses, if they use one of those like bad words, then they would instantly be like, then they would be emphasized, whereas like the person who would use it more often wouldn't be.
See, I relate to this a lot because I don't curse, and if I do,
Yeah,
I
then we know
never
like
do.
Amy's in trouble. You
So
know?
if I do, like, there have been multiple occasions where I've accidentally said Spanish bad words, right? Not knowing they were bad words, and then my brothers would be like, "Oh my God, you just said that." I'm telling. And I'm like, you can't speak without putting a bad word in your sentence. Like, I don't know why it's a problem for me.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So that makes sense on like a personal level, but if we take it to like, someone on TV, like I think all of us here wouldn't say the N word, and especially not on TV.
Yeah. So let's get back
but-
like on topic,
Yeah.
like whether we think bad words should be censored on national television.
Yeah, like let's put it there just because that's a context that we can
Yeah.
work in.
Well, I mean, it all kind of depends because, let's say you're putting it in a TV show. There are different ratings for TV shows. It could be kid friendly, it could not be. Like the stuff on Comedy Central, that's like
like
some of that
Yeah.
stuff's rated TVMA, and
Yeah.
there's stuff
Right,
that's rated TV
so-
14. You wouldn't want to curse in a show that's rated TV 14 because it's appealing to a specific audience.
Mhm.
TVMA, it's like there's no boundaries basically.
Right.
I
So
think that there's a difference between using a curse word on television and using like a racial slur on television. Because if you're using something like that, it's meant to degrade somebody or like hurt
Mhm.
somebody's feelings to put it, in like that kind of way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like definitely appropriate for like news segments because anyone can watch the news, any age. So it's it makes sense to
I don't know. I think
suppress
that
the
hate
bad
speech
language.
should be censored. I mean, it sucks to have anything censored, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always get a little, doesn't censoring stuff in general just doesn't sit well with me.
yeah,
you know
it's
what
definitely
I mean?
not an easy thing.
Yeah, it's
Well,
not something to be done
so,
lightly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like we know. The thing is, when words are censored, we know what they're saying like 95% of the time.
Yeah.
So why are they even censored in the first place?
Well, yeah, but like, there's a difference between bleeping a word out in like a talk show versus like shutting down a program because you don't like what they're saying. I feel like there's a key difference there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Both
but,
are censorship, but like,
what I'm getting at is like should words that don't really matter as much, like if someone says the F-bomb in like one time with like no real like strict context, should that be censored because like the meaning itself, like it can be used like basically for anything.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't really mean anything, like I
A
don't
lot of
know.
time people use it as like a filler word, and
Exactly. Yeah.
Emphasis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Filler
emphasis.
language is a big one.
And obviously we have to get into the freedom of speech portion of this, and so I looked up which types of speech are not protected by the First Amendment, and it says that obscenity, fight words, slander, child pornography, perjury, blackmail, true threats, and solicitation to commit crimes.
I hate to interrupt, but I want you guys to see what just happened to my pants again.
Oh my
God,
gosh! What
Kyle.
happened?
let the record show that Kyle peed himself.
No, that's not what happened.
What did you
That's
do?
definitely what happened.
No, it was my peaches. They fell on my pants.
Oh,
Wait, what
second
happened? You did it
time.
again?
The second
When
time.
did this
No,
happen?
Just look, it's the sitting on my desk.
No, when did this happen before?
Oh, I don't want to talk about it. Now they're like these pictures are straight up ruined.
You got in the grass. You
Man, look at those knees.
Woof.
I saw
You got
take
grass
that
stains
fall.
and peach.
Need to shower.
Hit that
Go
shower.
wash those pants.
Yeah, so
That was Kyle.
he's got good questions, but
just ran
like
into the desk.
maybe not so much with peaches,
All right.
Yeah.
So back to the topic at hand. Freedom of speech, it's one of those things that it's hard to get around.
It's hard. I mean, you said, what was it, like real threats? What was
Real,
it?
true threats.
True threats are not protected. I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, like that makes sense.
Like actually, people think that you're actually going to harm them. Those aren't protected. But
Like if
I don't know,
you,
does that mean hollow threats are protected? Like if you don't actually think they'll do it, you think is that protected or is that like still not okay?
the from my limited experience, I'm pretty sure it's like if you're like you suck, I'm gonna kill you, that kind of thing. Like if it's clearly a joke, like that's protected. But if like you go on national TV and you say we should go burn down a whole bunch of synagogues,
Yeah.
that's not
Definitely not
well,
okay.
definitely not okay, but also not protected.
Yes, of course.
What about like I'm just bringing this up because it's like a real world situation, like current event. The song "Murder on My Mind."
Oh,
You guys
yeah.
familiar with that?
Oh, yes.
What's his name?
And then there's an inverse version of it. It's like Mind on My Murder, too.
Yeah, and
The
like that's
song's
all. It's like
fire, but-
unsettling because like there's a whole new meaning behind the lyrics after you find out what the artist or the rapper has actually done.
Yeah, and it's very different from the Genius video he did.
There was a Genius video?
Yeah, look it up. We probably shouldn't talk about it here, but like
Okay.
he said that it meant something very different. So this is
We
an interesting
apologize for all the unnecessary audio. We can't really do anything about it.
I mean, it's not about chemistry, but we're still in
Not about
in
chemistry, but we're still in class.
Yeah.
So, on the topic of communications, we've discussed censorship, and we think we want to share a little creative thought with you.
Yeah.
Our friend Daniel here has created a few limericks, and we will be hearing them for the first time.
Pretty excited.
So I feel like I should preface this by saying I'm not a poet.
But let the record show Daniel is no poet.
Yes. Okay. I've been messing around. I don't even know if these are like officially
Oh, and they're
limericks.
annotated and everything.
One of them's
Annotated
annotated.
your
Yeah.
own limerick.
I had to for English. Yeah.
Yes, the English class.
But it's pretty good. Just gonna brag a little bit.
All right, give us a little taste.
All right. This one's the first one I wrote called "Love is a Dandelion." A dandelion grows with glee. The flower blooms happy and free. It's bright in its light. It won't give you a fright unless you're allergic like me.
It's so sad.
Are you really allergic to dandelion?
No, I'm not. I just thought it sounded
That was good. That's really good.
Took some artistic license with that one.
Now,
That's right now.
what's
I
the
like
deeper meaning?
I like
Yeah,
how
yeah.
The meaning.
So,
I like how it was, nice and happy right up until the very end. The last
Yeah.
line kind of
yeah, really.
cuts it off for you.
It's the twist, you know. It's the
Unless
twist.
you're
You gotta-
allergic like me.
gotta hit 'em
You know,
with the
that's
twist.
just,
I got another one, a little less depressing. It's not depressing, but it's called Ticonderoga,
like the pencil.
like the pencil, exactly.
We're not sponsored.
Like
Not a
the
sponsor.
quality
We
pencil.
could be though. If you're
Could
listening,
be.
Ticonderoga.
Ticonderoga.
We're okay with it.
Dixon, hit us up. All right. The name the Ticonderoga is said, a small piece of wood with some lead. How great the name be, so much majesty, and yet I still use ink instead. So, in case you
How
didn't
great
get
it
that,
may be.
yeah,
You know, I
one's-
personally like writing in pencil more than pen.
I'm very
Yeah.
decisive, so I don't need a eraser. Get
The
wrecked.
specific
I'm
pen
very
that Daniel uses
is bad.
the G2 Pilot pen.
G2
I don't
Pilot?
think he's using it now, but
I got one in my pocket
I
right here.
do not like.
I
the
would
pen.
rate it
I am
1
sorry.
star.
I would rate it one
Out of
star
one?
because it makes
Out of 10.
my handwriting really bad.
It
'Cause
leaks
the ink is so
everywhere.
flowy. It leaks.
You touch it
and
with the
spreads.
paper, and the entire paper is just filled with ink.
My handwriting's already bad anyway, so I can't tell a difference.
Now, the real hero of pens, ballpoint pens. Bic,
100%.
Disgusting.
Big, basic ballpoint pens,
Yes.
either blue or black. Those are the best.
they're cheap, they're easy, they make your handwriting look
They
nice.
don't bleed. The only thing that's like kind of wrong with them is that it makes you press down a little hard, but that's all that matters.
G2 is God tier, and you will never change my mind.
I personally like my microns, but those are okay. You
Those are,
know,
expensive.
they are expensive.
All right, I got another one.
Daniel,
If
let's
you're,
let
if
us
you're
read
ready,
this one.
you want to read this one?
Yes.
All right, so good luck.
Good luck.
As previously stated, my handwriting
Which one am I
is
reading?
the bottom one.
The
It's
bottom one.
last.
Draft 3.
It's called Drip.
Gang, gang, your boy got some drip. I'm able to give a large tip. I got so much cash, but so little class. My self-esteem's gonna slip.
Wow.
Dab on it.
Wow.
That's
Poet
A
classic.
true lyricist right here.
Thanks.
Thank you, Danny, for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
that was the ASMR portion.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, it's
You
all
know,
good.
I like that one. That one's good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
It's a little hard, but
Little bit.
it's good.
You know
It's
me. I'm a gangster.
good. He's a gangster.
Gang.
Sorry, gangsta with an A.
Gangsta. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You know me.
You know
No,
me.
gangsta.
Hardcore. Alright, I have a series of 3 edgy limericks, but those are too much for this one.
Edgy limericks?
I have edgy limericks.
I think we're gonna leave that
Yeah.
for your personal.
It's like 14-year-old, this is deep kind of level stuff.
I am 14 and this is
Yeah.
The stuff
This
that you
is-
put on Wattpad.
Oh, yeah.
I've read some
archive
people's
of our own.
Bad.
archive of our own. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
It's like
those-
Wattpad 2.0. Like,
Yeah.
yours.
Wattpad is this app where edgy teens like to post their works,
Fan fiction.
their fan fictions,
Ooh.
their stories.
like
I've
that.
read a few from people in this school who have previously graduated, and it was wow.
It was something.
Have you guys ever read Snape and the Teletubbies?
I would
Snape
prefer
in the
not to.
Teletubbies.
Snape and the Teletubbies, like from Harry Potter. Snape.
What? Oh,
Don't.
Snape.
Yeah, don't read Snape and the Teletubbies.
Okay, do you
I
want to
don't wanna
briefly
ask how you-
summarize it?
Don't
Cross that.
just.
Well, now that you brought it
Stop.
up, you have to summarize it now, Daniel.
I can't. It's
I don't think I want to hear that.
it's
oh my
it's
god.
not safe for work
We'll
content.
leave it up to
A
the
friend
to
of
the
mine-
viewers to
Yeah.
A friend of
decide.
mine sent me a Mitt Romney Obama fan fiction, and SpongeBob was in there too.
What was that one in Latin class? Doctor Who and
Oh my gosh, there was a Doctor Who and
Medicus.
And Medicus. He was We read some Latin fan fiction. Cambridge Latin. Look those up. Those are the funniest.
Go on Wattpad, look
Oh,
up
they're
Cambridge
great.
Latin fanfiction.
Yes.
The Doctor Ex Medicus. I don't know if that's what it was.
Yes, the Dr. Ex Medicus. That's what it was.
Oh,
No, the
idea what
Dr.
you guys are
S
talking-
Medicus. I think it was.
The doctor
We'll
is the
find
doctor.
I have
it. We'll do
no
a
clue.
dramatic rating next time.
Dramatic
Oh my
reading.
god.
Well, that's all the time we have. Thank you for listening.
Yep.
And tune in next time where we talk about the stuff you guys want to hear about. This is for the commenter from the last episode. I'm sorry we didn't talk about JFK and Bigfoot. We didn't really find anything on that. So, my apologies. But we did bring it up. So, you know who you are.
We're hard at work researching.
Yes. Tune in next time. Maybe we'll have it. All right. For Not About Chemistry, I'm Amy.
I'm Nick.
I'm Claire.
I'm Daniel.
And we'll see you next time. What is this, take 4?
Oh shoot.